My name is Dolly of Dolly DeLong Photography and Dolly DeLong Education. I serve as a Nashville-based family and branding photographer, and I also serve as a systems and workflow expert with Dolly DeLong Education. In today's strategy session, I'm really excited about sharing my strategy behind how I use Pinterest, Dubsado, my website platform, and my email service provider all together to drive traffic to lead magnets, and how I use those lead magnets to grow my email list. So if you are ready to dive into a new strategy, then I will meet you in the video. I'll see you soon. So in this lesson, we are going to be talking about driving traffic to your website and brand with a lead magnet. And the objective is I will be showing you a strategy on how you can build your email list by using a lead magnet, specifically using the elements of Pinterest, Dubsado, your website, and your email service provider in a strategic and more streamlined way. So before we really dive into the strategy, I want to ask you a question. What does your customer journey look like? Hopefully, as a small business owner, you know ideally what your ideal client customer looks like and how you want their journey to look like from start to finish. But if you jump straight into the strategy without an actual journey or a map strategy, this will be very scattered for you. So this is something that I encourage you to just really stop and think from start to finish. How do you want your client to work with you, from onboarding your client all the way to even delivering the final, if you're a photographer, delivering that final gallery, or if you are a graphic designer, delivering the final products, whatever it may be. What does the entire client journey look like? So for this specific strategy session, this is the journey we are going to go over. So I'm going to go over the elements of Pinterest all the way to a landing page, from a landing page to your lead magnet, how to sign up for a lead magnet from your email service provider, and from there going into an email nurture sequence, and from the email nurture sequence leading into a Dubsado form, specifically a lead capture form. So this is my specific journey I have mapped out from start to almost not finish. Like Dubsado is not the finish line, but it is almost the finish line of they are booking to work with me and then they're getting set in a different workflow. But the organic journey for me begins on Pinterest, and so I am weaving in these different elements, and my goal is to get them from Pinterest all the way to signing up to work with me on Dubsado. So here are the three main ingredients or elements we will go over. So this is a three-parter right here. So the first part of this lesson is we're going to talk about lead magnets, just kind of what they are, why they are essential for email list building, how to use them in your business, and just some facets of lead magnets you'll need. So examples from creation all the way to delivery. So I'll be doing kind of like a highlight reel of lead magnets. And then I'll share some elements of Dubsado that I use for this specific journey, this client journey from Pinterest through my lead magnet to Dubsado. And then I'll share with you my Pinterest strategy and how to use Pinterest organically to drive traffic to your lead magnet and ultimately to grow your email list. So let's talk about part one, lead magnets, just a little bit about the creation process, the landing page, the email service provider where you will create a segment and a form and a workflow to nurture your new lead, the confirmation page, which is also known as the URL redirect page, and of course the consumption sequence. So let's very briefly talk about lead magnets. So what is a lead magnet? So essentially, a lead magnet is something that leads people to your offer. It is something that's an irresistible, normally free offer that a business would offer to a potential new subscriber, a free checklist, a free download, some incentive that a person would subscribe and exchange their email address for that free incentive. And that incentive would eventually lead the new subscriber to getting to know, like, and trust that business owner over time. So there are so many different types of lead magnets. You can go from a free module, from a course to a PDF, a checklist, a download, an audio file, an ebook. The sky's the limit. And I know we all have heard the term and saying that you cannot build your business on the borrowed land of social media. And I feel like everybody says that. We hear it so much. But do we actually believe that? Do we actually believe that having an email list is essential? It really is essential. I mean, there's no surprise answer in that. It is essential to build your email list because something could happen to your social media accounts. Something could happen in that you will need to reach out to your clients and customers and growing audience through an email list, which you own, versus Instagram or social media or another popular social media platform might go away tomorrow. So I'm not trying to be a fear monger, but I am trying to encourage you to really dig into growing your email list. So everybody loves cats on the internet, so I found this superhero cat. And so I always like to say lead magnets are kind of like a superhero when it comes to email list building. So they are not the only way to build your email list, but they are a great way, and sometimes an even organic, a free way to build your email list. So let's talk about where you can potentially house or advertise your lead magnet. And you can advertise your lead magnet on a landing page within your website. So that's where the website comes in. And the specific mission of the landing page is to clearly represent the transformation and just like what the lead magnet is, the goal of the lead magnet, so that the viewer can see exactly what this lead magnet can do for them, why they need to exchange their email address for this lead magnet. Remember, clarity wins. So be clear and be concise on this landing page. Get your viewer really excited and hyped up about typing out their email address so that they can receive that lead magnet. Remember to put at least 3 call to actions that lead to your email service provider, so that intake form. And I will go a little bit into what that means, but the way you can collect email addresses is if you have some sort of embedded code from your email service provider, because they will then collect the emails for you. That's where you can house the email addresses, and that's where you can send out weekly newsletters. That's how you can send out the lead magnets. That's how you can just segment who is interested in what products. And again, this is not a course on email marketing by any stretch of the matter, but I'm just trying to encourage you to really dig into email marketing as you continue to learn about lead magnets. So going back to the landing page, make sure that you are very clear and concise with your landing page, and make sure there is no other way to click out of it. Say you put your menu on the landing page, or you put a footer that leads to another page. Make sure it's just specifically about that lead magnet, and it talks just about that lead magnet. And this is a little screenshot of what my lead magnet looks like. I have a lead magnet, ironically, about saving time as a family photographer using Dubsado. And so I talk about the benefits of Dubsado for family photographers, and I have a checklist I have as a lead magnet. So I wanted just to share with you just a little behind the scenes of what my process looks like. And before we talk about the email service provider, let me just go back again. I just thought of this for the landing page. So sorry. You do not have to create, if you feel stressed about creating a landing page within your own website, don't worry. There are third-party vendors like Lead Pages that you can create landing pages through third-party vendors. If creating a landing page sounds stressful to you, that is their whole priority as a business. So there are businesses dedicated to landing pages entirely. So if you would rather have that option, look into that option, but also know that you have the opportunity and option to create your own private landing pages within your website. All right, so let's talk about the email service provider. So I am not going to mention any specific type of email service provider because there are so many different types of email service providers. So find a company that works best for you and your business. There are so many, but either way, take 1 or 2 days to decide and then just go with it because you need to start building out your email list. Make sure before you actually set up your landing page or a lead page for your lead magnet, make sure you set everything up within your email service provider first so that you can automatically deliver that lead magnet. So let's say that you use an email service provider and you set up a segment, an audience that you assign to this lead magnet. So that way you know this audience, whenever they subscribe to your Dubsado checklist, for example, they are interested in learning more about Dubsado because they got that lead magnet all about Dubsado. So set up a segment, set up an audience within your email service provider. Make sure you set up a form for them to fill out their email address and their first name and last name. And then you can take that form, either the ribbon form or a full page form, and you can embed that on the landing page or you can link that to the landing page. And that way, when a person, no pun intended, lands on your landing page, they click over to the link, fill out the form, and when they fill out their email address, it goes straight into the segment that you set up automatically through your email service provider. And once you have done the back work of uploading your lead magnet, your PDF, your audio file, whatever your lead magnet is going to be, that is automatically sent to them because you've set up a consumption sequence, which is my next point. So within your email service provider, I would encourage you to set up a 4 to 5 email sequence and help your new consumer actually get excited about consuming your lead magnet. Yes, it's free. Yes, they didn't have to pay anything, but the fact is they exchanged their email address, something valuable for something valuable to help them out in their business. So you want to get them even more hyped up about using this lead magnet so that they can experience a win and they know how to use it and more about you. And also they're getting to know you more and to like you more and to trust you more over time. So overall, in this consumption sequence, help them to experience a win. So there's no right or wrong way of there's no perfect consumption sequence, but I would recommend, again, between 4 to 5 emails, and that first email being an automated email that goes out. Once they download your lead magnet, that first email, they'll receive the lead magnet and kind of a introduction email to the lead magnet and getting to know you. Again, you hopefully will write this all out in your customer journey mapping. This is why just knowing your customer journey ahead of time is important so that you can fill in all these gaps and fill in all these puzzle pieces. So again, here's a screenshot of what my landing page looks like. And again, some of my recommendations for landing pages that advertise your lead magnet are as follows. Make sure you have some clear call to actions scattered throughout the landing page. So this landing page is only showing 3/4 of it, but I have 3 different call to actions scattered throughout the page. I'm talking about the value of the lead magnet. So maybe create some bullet points and create a way for them to actually see the product, even if it's a digital product. So mine is a digital product. So I made some images in Canva and I put it on the screen for them to see just what they would be getting in digital format. And I also let them know what's included and let them know who it's for. So I'm painting a picture of what to expect and hopefully getting them excited about learning more about Dubsado as a family photographer. So these are just, again, some of my recommendations, but if creating a landing page from scratch is stressful, then another option is, again, looking into a third-party company that will integrate with your email service provider and also your website. So let's talk about part 2, which is the Dubsado elements that I use for this customer journey, from Pinterest to my landing page to my lead magnet, and then from my lead magnet to my consumption sequence, and then into Dubsado. So I know there's a lot of moving pieces, but these are the elements that will even go into the consumption sequence where they are getting more information about the lead magnet. I'm including Dubsado elements in this. So I am going to be including my lead capture form link in this consumption sequence. And that includes canned emails. I have a scheduler that is set up in the sequence. I have a specific workflow that goes out when they fill out that lead capture form. And let's say I have an audience member who goes and gets my lead magnet, goes through my consumption sequence, and after reading email 3 or 4, they decide, I really want to learn more about this service. They click on that lead capture form and it takes them through the workflow within Dubsado, and they immediately pay to work with me. So I have this all set up in the back end. And so from start to finish, I have it planned out. So I just want to make it as seamless as possible. So these are the elements I'm using within Dubsado. And something that I love talking about is the contact form. I call this the contact form that wows within Dubsado. I know it's called the lead capture form, but you can have elements within your lead capture form that will wow your clients when they first fill out that lead capture form. So, of course, every lead capture form, in order to be public, needs to have that first name, last name, and email address smart field. And then any other key information you need in that initial contact form. So what will you need initially for your specific client's journey? And then I would encourage you, for the wow factor, to create a thank you redirect page. So instead of that traditional thank you for submitting this form, we'll be in touch with you, that generic screen, why not create a thank you redirect page so that that client's journey can continue to get to know you? They are redirected to a page where they can read more blog posts about what you have to offer, or go to your shop, or even get to know you more and follow you on your different social media platforms. Either way, there's a strategy with your redirect thank you page. Another element I'd like to add is a video of myself. When a person fills out my contact form, that lead capture form, I normally embed a video from YouTube. So I make a unlisted YouTube video, and I put that in that first email that they're going to get when they fill out my contact form, my lead capture form in Dubsado. And it gives them all the information they need to know about working with me. And they also see me and they hear me. And it's not a personalized video. It's very generic, but they're at least seeing me and hearing me. And that has helped me close a lot of, I want to say it's helped me bridge a lot of deals, if that's a term, or it's helped me get to know clients even better and close a lot of good contracts. I don't even know a phrase to use, but it's helped me get to know more clients. And so I would encourage you just to consider creating a video of yourself in that first email. And make sure throughout this whole client journey, from your Pinterest pins all the way to your Dubsado forms, make sure you're adding consistent elements. So elements of your brand. That includes your logos, your hex colors, your brand colors, even down to your messaging and your wording and your keywords that you're using everywhere. Make sure you're staying on brand. So here are some extra tools I use to kind of make my Dubsado elements pop out just a little bit more and to give me more of a wow factor for my clients. So I use templates from Boss Project, and I use these templates to create a more consistent and branded form experience for my clients. And I am not a graphic designer by any stretch, so I use Canva, and I feel like I am a graphic designer at heart because of Canva, but Canva is a free tool you can use. There is a free version and a paid version, and I absolutely love it. And then my website platform of choice that helps me embed my Dubsado forms of these is Showit, and I absolutely love this tool so much. And then, of course, I mentioned all of my videos I either embed for free from YouTube or Vimeo. So let's take a peek into what this looks like in my Dubsado account. So I just want to show you a few ways that I've elevated my forms and just like what my basic workflow looks like. All right, we are in my dashboard of Dubsado, and this is my specific workflow I'm talking about, where this lead magnet, the initial lead magnet, it leads into this workflow. So let's say somebody downloads my lead magnet from the organic marketing of Pinterest, and they decide after consuming my consumption sequence, after learning about the lead magnet, they decide to click on my contact form in one of those emails because they're interested in learning more about Dubsado. So when they do that, they will receive that first email, and I make it really clear for myself to remember, and it literally says send email out when they fill out the lead capture form for one-on-one VIP Dubsado Day form for family photography. So I make this very clear for myself. I label everything very clearly, and each of my workflows for the most part have little icons attached to it, and I make sure all of my canned emails have the same icons so I know which canned emails will be attached to which workflow. Now you can see I've only done this for half of my workflows because I've just started implementing this in the last 8 months, and it's helped my brain out tremendously. So the most automated sequences are really the first 3 steps. The first step, when they fill out my lead capture form, they get this email, and they also get an added tag so I know what category they're under, and then they're sent that appointment scheduler to make a VIP day call with me, or we get on the phone, we make sure it's actually a good fit. And then the rest of the steps for me are approval steps, and it's all dependent upon what their actions were in these first steps. So again, I've mapped it out, and so that's why it's really important to map out your client journey. So I wanted you to see what this looks like, but the key points here are just sending that first email, and it has that video in it. So let me show you the form that I created. And again, your lead capture form is in the form section, and it is right here. Remember that little icon? And this is a form that I wanted to show a before and after. So I think I have an example, 1 minute of what it looks like before, or maybe I don't. I'm so sorry. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this is the before. So this is what it looked like before, like the template in Boss Project. And this is what I made it look like after. And so this is it. So I just love Boss Project so much. And I know that there are other companies that do this, and you can make the forms with your graphics, with your brand colors, with your fonts, and put images of yourself. So it doesn't have to be plain old, boring lead capture forms. And another way I elevate it is when they fill out the form, they are defaulted into this workflow, and then they are redirected to this thank you for filling out my form. It's a Dubsado VIP Day thank you page. And so that way they can continue to get to know me. And you'll see what that sequence looks like because I'm going to do an example. But I just wanted you to see just the behind the scenes of a before and after of a form and the workflow and the importance of just mapping it out and just the importance of making sure that you even are taking the time to assign canned emails with certain graphics to certain workflows. All right, so let's move on to part 3, which is my favorite part, Pinterest. So I love Pinterest so much, and in this section of the strategy session, we're going to be talking about how and where I designed my Pinterest graphics, which is Canva. And I'll be sharing briefly about what fresh pins are, the importance of using keywords and descriptions for your pins, why you should have a landing page because that's going to be your destination link for your pins. And I'll briefly talk about how to automate your Pinterest pins. So when I say create fresh pins, I'm talking about creating pins in Canva. And yes, they have different graph sizes that are automated in Canva. So if you go in their search board and type in Pinterest pins, they will have templates for you to create from. So don't worry, you don't have to create it from scratch. And so if you are any type of business owner, you are sitting on some sort of content, regardless if you blog consistently or not, you have information about your business. So I always encourage business owners to produce some sort of content, if not twice a month, at least one time a month, to drive traffic from Pinterest all the way back to their website in some creative way. And if you only have one thing to talk about for the month, that's okay, but have a consistent strategy. Okay, I'll get off my platform about that. But if you only have one thing to talk about, you can create several different fresh pins in Canva that lead to that one blog post or landing page or website, whatever destination you have in mind. And so for this example, these fresh pins will drive Pinterest traffic to your landing page, which houses your lead magnet. So what this looks like in Pinterest. So I just took a screenshot in Pinterest. So I created between 8 to 10 minimum pins, and that's usually my starting point when I am driving traffic from Pinterest to a lead magnet or whatever website landing page. And I create them in Canva and then I upload them in Pinterest. So things to note. So there are 4 ways you can optimize your pins. The first way is to optimize it with keywords as text overlay on the actual pin itself, and you'll do that in Canva. The second way is optimizing the title with keywords that your ideal client would be searching for. The third way is optimizing the description with keywords and a description of what the pin is about. And then the fourth way is having a destination link. So for me in this scenario, the landing page, which advertises the lead magnet, is the destination link. That's where I want pinners to go to so that they will then subscribe to the newsletter to get that lead magnet, and then they'll be in my consumption sequence, and then hopefully they will want to work with me or save my information for later, and then that way they will be funneled into my Dubsado workflow when they want to work with me. So when you pin all of these to Pinterest, make sure you pin to your relevant boards and then automate it with a scheduler app like Tailwind. So if you're worried, I don't have enough time to sit at my computer and do this all day long, Dolly, the great thing is if you dedicate, I'm serious when I say this, if you dedicate at least 1 to 2 hours a week to Pinterest, you can find a scheduler tool like Tailwind, and it will automate pins out for you for the next X amount of weeks if you need. And I've timed it myself. It takes me between 1 to 2 hours every week, and I'm able to pin out for at least 6 to 7 weeks at a time. So it's a great, powerful automation tool. So let's peel back the curtain and see how this entire client journey looks like from start to finish. And I want you to see these elements in action. Now, keep in mind, it might be a little slow because my internet's slow, but I just want you to see everything in action. So let's dive in. Okay, so we are in Pinterest, and I am pretending I am a new visitor, and I'm interested in getting started with Dubsado because I am a family photographer. Okay, so I'm just going to click here, and it's going to take me to the landing page, which is kind of like part of the journey. And I'm just going to look over this briefly. Yeah, this sounds very interesting. And okay, so I'll just fill out my information here. And I could fill it out anywhere, but I just wanted you to see I put it at 3 different places. I am not a robot. And it's going to redirect me to the checklist. And that's how I have created, just like the redirection page for me is the actual PDF. So here's the PDF or the checklist, but I'm going to also check my email because I should have received that first email in the consumption sequence for my email service provider. So let's go over there. And it looks like we did. So here it is. And so the download you requested is here. So it's another call to action to receive that lead magnet. And so I talk about it. And then this kicks off their funnel into Dubsado. And so let's say I am interested in getting to know more about, scheduling a one-on-one call for a Dubsado day. So I'm going to click here, and it's going to strategically, I've thought this through, and I want them to learn more about the day. So I click over here, and this is embedded within my email service provider. And so it's going to take me to another landing page, which is dedicated to Dubsado VIP days. And it shares all the information a person needs to know about my Dubsado VIP days. But say I just really want to book an appointment. So you would just sign up here, sign up here, sign up here. I have call to actions all over my website. So it's completely up to you. So I'm just going to sign up here. And this takes me straight to the top of my Dubsado funnel, which is my lead capture form. And it's loading right now, so give it 1 second. So here it is. And I'm just going to give me 1 moment, okay? I want you to see this entire process. Okay, so I'm just going to put in test. And this one is a little longer, but it just helps me, it just helps me see if they are serious about
wanting to set up a day with me. So this is the first part. And this will send me, guess what, to a thank you page. That thank you page for filling out my Dubsado VIP Day form. And it gives a call to action, like follow me on Instagram or read this blog post about Dubsado. So anyways, that is the first of many emails. And then I normally get, since I've already filled it out, I normally get an email from, oh, there it is. So here is that first email. So with a welcome video. And I also infused it with a Schitt's Creek GIF because, you guys, this is a really funny show. And so I also included a video of myself, a welcome video. Click here and it takes them to the unlisted embedded form in YouTube. But we don't have to watch that. But I just wanted you to see the process. And then the next automated thing is my scheduler appointment right here. All right, so you now have a new strategy to build your email list organically, from going from Pinterest to your landing page, your website, that leads to your lead magnet. In exchange for their email address, you nurture them with a nurture sequence. And then in that nurture sequence, you'll then lead them to your lead capture form and funnel them into a workflow strategically placed in your nurture sequence. So it all works together strategically. I mean, this is so exciting. I hope you're excited about learning something new. So since I love Dubsado and Pinterest so much, I've actually created a free video training in the notes. So check it out after this strategy session. It's 4 ways to use Pinterest and Dubsado together, especially as a family photographer or a photographer in general. And you can apply this to your business as well if you're not a photographer, but I wanted just to create this free video training. Either way, I hope you learned something new and exciting, and I hope you are excited about utilizing Pinterest, your website, your email service provider, and Dubsado with your lead magnet all together. Have a wonderful day.